Good morning, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday morning, April 25th. We're looking at window traders market profile of the ES and the NQ. So a couple of misses yesterday. Face plant, Facebook down 15%, IBM down 9%. I'll show you those charts in a minute where I think you could find maybe some buyers from the last time on both these things. But for now, with those earnings coming out, market's attempting to push low. We got a very wide overnight POC here in ES, 21 wide, right? Very wide. Looking to possibly gap lower. Not big gaps as of this moment, about 10 handles in ES. And in NQ, it's about 70 points. So not huge. Again, I'm in fours here. I'll go down later into ones when the day starts. Righty, on the other hand, is pushing yesterday's high. Don't forget, Righty had an inside day yesterday, right? They were up on Tuesday, up to balance after yesterday. So we'll see if they take out yesterday's high and have an inside day up, and more importantly, what they do to it. ES has been in balance. They just slightly stretched it, and now they rolled over, at least for now. NQ, I actually called up yesterday, but regardless whether you still had it in balance or called it up, it's back to balance. It's a big balance, okay? Here's your balance low all the way down here, down at around the 113 level on the daily. Don't forget, ES's overnight low is a monthly low, okay? So, right all the way down at 963.50. That's something that we'll see if it's going to hold, whether it's this month or next month. So game plan early. Now, downside gaps have held much, much better than upside gaps this year. Okay, that's something that we've noticed. It's not a big sample, but it's still 50%, 7 out of 14. Upside gaps have held only 4 out of 18. Last year, for the full year, downside gaps held only 24.4% of the time. So we're double that right now. But again, it's only 14. So if we gap lower, it's a very tight overnight range with a very wide overnight POC. Obviously, the overnight is getting very short. I'm not so sure this gap lives in ES if that was to be the case around here. NQ, a little different story because Facebook's going to put tremendous pressure on NQ this morning. But again, there's many things you can do. Very visual points. Look at our overnight high. That's a really good risk-reward short against the overnight high and the gap fill. Any acceptance over it, get out. Why? There's nothing inside of yesterday. Our POC was only 7 wide. There's nothing. Any acceptance back inside yesterday's value, you can trade all the way up to the afternoon rally high. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. On the flip side, can you front run the overnight low? Those seem to work also, and then you could probably use the 23rds low as you're out. These are all early plays. Volume this morning, I just want to see the volume so far. Very light. It's not like there's any heavy volume going on. Only 400,000 in the SPY right now. NQ, the same thing. You could front run the overnight high. They're taking back the trend day from the 23rd, which would mean what? Well, if you take it back, then you'll see if they get acceptance into the upper distribution again, right? So it's a good risk-reward short. Any acceptance in the upper distribution, you're certainly going to fill the gap. And then just like ES, there's not much up until, now remember, they did have a double distribution day. But again, that's from 567.50 all the way up to 711. So that's a big range that they could hurt some shorts if we get acceptance back into the upper distribution from this day. And as far as a long, not a bad risk-reward long against both the overnight low and the 23rds low. Below it, get out. Because again, you're going to start coming into this day's range and go for that overnight POC. All early plays. And then quickly on the chart, I'm going to show you both SPY and Qs. So here's SPYs. I was using this daily high. We slightly stretched it yesterday, okay? So to me, it was still in balance. Well, we're firmly in balance. So excuse me. Today will be the start of an 8-day balance if we take out yesterday's low. Okay? And then on triple Qs, again, whether you called it up, like I did, because I was using this day's high and we took it out by $1.50, or you're still calling it balance, doesn't really matter. Yesterday's high will now be the top of the balance, and this day's low on the 19th will be the bottom of it. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel. Good luck trading today, and we'll recap at 4 p.m.